Hey, hello everyone. I'm Jennifer, and I am starting off my new journey with the compound formula of Ozempic. Apparently, it did get approved through my insurance, and I've been talking about it online. I haven't really talked about it on Facebook, but I decided I'm going to start a daily or weekly journal on my journey with this compound formula of Ozempic. I don't know the exact name. I'll find out tomorrow when I pick up my prescription. Um, I'll give you a little background story. I'll try to keep it as short as possible, but I want to be able to share it for other people out there who have, had health issues and are obese, I guess is the word for it. And I've always been a small petite person. I'm about 5'3", and I have over the last 5 years, well, it's been longer than that. I hovered around 150, 140, 150, and then over the last 5 years, it's just gone up. I'm 57 years old now, and I weigh about 170 pounds. I'm wearing extra larges, and it usually falls off me or is too long because I'm short. So pants that size are longer, you know how it goes. But I'm ready. I'm past ready. I've got hypolipidemia, where my cholesterol and my triglyceride numbers are really, really high. And I'm on a bunch of meds because of um, back issues and accident, and so I'm on a lot of different medications. I see a pain management doctor each month, and I'm on pretty strong opioids, and plus I have anxiety, and so I wanted to make sure and that it would be okay to mix GLP-1 with the other medications. And I'll cover this in future videos, my story of how the doctor's visit went, because I transferred. I moved out of one city in Central Florida to a more urban area, and so I had to change doctors. And the new doctor I got, very easy, like almost too easy, where there were some red flags and stuff, but he seems pretty thorough, even though he's fast, and he's the one that has gotten me on this. So I'm ready to start the journey, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Just a little background. Like I said, I've got some other health issues, so I'm on pain management, and I also take alprazolam for my anxiety and sleep medicine because I have trouble falling asleep. So I'm on, I got my little bag of meds that I take in the morning, midday, and afternoon. But, and I'm not active. I mean, I'm more active in the last year than I have been in a while. And I'm trying to, change things. But it's hard because, I'll have good days and I'll have bad days with my back. And on the good days, I overdo it. And then I wind up paying for it. And then I'm down for a day or two sometimes. And it takes me a while to regroup. Mental health wise, I'm bipolar, but it's very, very mild. And I take Seroquel at night for that. And I seem to be doing much better. For years, I've been on that and I've done much better. I don't have, initially I was diagnosed with depression, but none of the meds seemed to work. And then they finally diagnosed me as bipolar 2, rapid cycling, all the extra things they throw on there. But for the most part, I'm pretty good. But I just, I've stopped taking care of myself like I should. And I don't eat right. I don't eat the right times. I'm a night owl, so my sleep pattern's off. And my husband and I are like on different wavelengths completely. So I'm making major changes. And I thought, why not share my journey with you guys? And I probably should have done this horizontally instead of vertically, but maybe the next videos I'll do it the other way. But I'm holding it this way now, so we'll just continue this way. I hope that you guys will join in. I'd love to hear your stories. There is a Facebook group that's fairly new that I started. It's called Monjourno. I can't never say that word. Monjaro, Ozempic, Wegovy, and Zepbound Weight Loss Support. It's a small group. There's only 552 members. So if you guys have suggestions for other groups for support for people that are starting their journey with GLP-1s, I would appreciate you sharing that in the comments below. And share your experiences. I would like at some point to interview and do like interview or Zooms with other people. If you would like to share your story, and we can chat about our experiences and what's coming. If you guys are on the actual drugs themselves, or I'm curious of anybody out there that might be doing the compounds instead of the actual drugs, and how that's affected you, what kind of side effects you're experiencing, if you're losing weight, what you're doing to support your weight loss in addition to the weekly injections. Anything you want to share, I'm willing. I want to hear it. I want to not have to go through this alone. And my husband's there, and he's awesome and amazing, but he is so anti-medicine, anti-doctor, and if his arm was falling off, I don't think I could get him to go to the hospital. But he supports me. He just doesn't know anything about it, and it's not something, I can talk to him about it, and he looks at me like I have two heads, because he just doesn't get it, and he doesn't understand. When you're used to being a small, petite person, and then a lack of taking care of yourself, or a lack of eating right, eating healthier, staying active, and mix that with having some down days where you just can't get out and do, makes it difficult to keep a good, consistent routine. And that's what I want to do, and I can't do it alone. So I'm asking you guys to join me on this journey in whatever capacity you can. And I'll put some information down in the description. I'll link this group, and I would appreciate you guys joining me, and like I said, sharing your stories. So here's my deal. Actually, let me just set this here, see if that's okay. I've been on pain management for about, let's see, 7 or 8 years. So I take some pretty strong opioids, and they don't affect me. They work. They keep my pain level down. But I've got severe back issues, and herniated and messed up spine, basically. Plus I had an accident a few years ago which injured my neck and my lower back, my lumbar. And so I've been on that, and I've had to change doctors several times because of moving and whatnot. And but I've just gained all this weight, and I hate it. I hate it. It's made me, care less about myself. And I have always taken pride in my appearance. And when you get that way and you try on your clothes and you can't get them zipped, and you're like, God, well, what can I do? I tried fasting. I'm still on a couple of the groups, but I deleted most of them. The fasting Facebook groups and pages, and it just didn't work for me. I don't eat a lot anyway, so it's so weird that I can't seem to lose the weight. The fasting thing, I tried 18-6. I would go without 18 hours and be on and eat for 6. But that made me feel obligated to eat everything I needed, or wanted in that 6 hours. And that wasn't normal for me because I don't eat regularly. I wake up, I'm not hungry in the morning. I get hungry usually between like 1 and 4. So I wind up eating between 1 and 4, and then dinner time comes and I'm not hungry. So I'll make sure Josh has got something, or he'll fix himself something, and and I might eat a little bit at dinner, or I might just skip it, and then come 11:30, 12 o'clock, midnight, I'm hungry. So I'm up making food at midnight, 1 o'clock, especially if you guys are on any kind of sleep medications. There's this point with about a half an hour to an hour after you take your sleep meds that you get that little sleepiness buzz going, and I'm like, we'll get up in the middle of the night and go make freaking pancakes or French toast or cinnamon toast or something awful, high carb, awful, or even candy. I've gotten the habit of keeping a stash of Swiss cake roll or an oatmeal cake or chips or something in my nightstand. And I'm confessing because I want it all out there. I want to share the truth from as ugly as it is through this journey, and I want to make changes and get more active. I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to be able to start a regular exercise routine because I've always hated that. If it's designed or disguised as dancing or roller skating or playing video games or bicycling or swimming, then I can do it. But it's not ever been anything consistent for me. And until I got in my late 40s, it was never an issue for my weight. In my 40s and 50s is when it started, where it got bad. And I've just not taken the time or put in the effort to do anything and to help myself, even though I'm not eating. And it's in going back to that whole not eating thing, I've got to get on a regular schedule. I may not be eating all the best, healthiest meals, but I'm only eating like one meal a day now, unless I get up in the middle of the night and cook something. So I'm going to try and fix that. Now, onto the medication. This is kind of confusing, so I'm going to try to lay it out as best as I can. As soon as I found out about the GLP ones, the Ozempic, about 3 months ago, and I started researching it. I get tunnel vision when I get something in my head. I get total, complete tunnel vision, and I focus on it until I accomplish my goal, or something else sidetracks me, and then I get tunnel vision, focused on that. So I did a lot of research on the Ozempic, the Wegovy, the Zepbound, and Mounjaro, and called my insurance company, and they were like, oh, let me back up a second. I had brought it up I started researching it about 3 months ago, and then about a month ago, I was visiting my new doctor. It was only my third appointment with my new doctor. And I like him, and he had really good reviews. But there's some red flags, and I'll share those with you, and I'd love your feedback on it. On my first appointment with him, it was a lot. They usually take more time with you and go over all your meds and your history and whatnot. And it went a little quick. And I'm going to keep it as honest and real as I can here. I do take Xanax for anxiety and whenever I need it, usually once a day, sometimes twice a day. I was going through all my meds with them, and when I called to get my refills, I was on a 0.5 milligram of Xanax, and they would only write me through my psychiatrist. I had my primary care doctor, my pain management doctor, and my psychiatrist. I had those 3 doctors. And my psychiatrist would only write me 45 to 55.5 milligrams a month. They didn't like writing it because of the fact that I was on the Seroquel and Ambien. I've been on it all now for so long that it's what I take. My body's used to it. I'm comfortable with it. I don't have any concerns about it. My husband knows everything I'm on, even though he couldn't tell anybody anything about it. But it doesn't of, I'm not in fear of anything or mixing it. I know what I can take and, what not to do. So I went to the doctor and went through it and went through my meds. And then when I picked up my scripts, I noticed that my Xanax prescription was not 0.5, but 1 milligram. Instead of the little oval round pills, I had the yellow bars. He upped me to 1 milligram and gave me 90 tablets instead of 45. I'm not going to complain about it because, right? I mean, would you? Again, just trying to be honest. I want to be clear about everything. So I didn't say anything about that because I like the fact of having a higher dosage. I can break it in half, and that way I've still got more in case I run out. I don't have to take 45 and try to make it last over a month period. And then, but everything else was correct. Now he wrote me, that, my cholesterol meds, and my sleep medicine. My pain management doctor writes me for my opioids that I take and Adderall, which I have, but I normally don't take it. If I do take it, he wrote me 10s. Last month was the first time because they didn't like mixing it with all my other meds, and I explained to them about the weight loss and that I needed something better to help me with focusing and being able to be more active and help lose some of the weight, which I might, just discontinue that completely if the Ozempic compound works. So I have my pain management doctor that writes me that, and I'm sorry if I get a little bit confused, guys, because it's a lot to take in. Anyway, going back to my new doctor. Then the next time I went and saw him, again, it was quick, but I talked to him about, I had researched the Ozempic and everything and asked him about it. His answer to me was, sure, call your insurance company, find out which one they'll cover, and I'll write it for you. That was the entire conversation. So a couple of weeks go by. I called my insurance. They said they wouldn't they wouldn't cover any of it. I thought they might cover the Zepbound because it had expanded and they had expanded it for approval for weight loss because it wasn't covered for. They wouldn't cover weight loss. I'm on disability, Social Security disability. So that's my insurance. And, the government isn't going to cover anything that they don't have to, even if it's going to save them and somebody's healthier in the long run because they're in a healthier weight. And that's the way I look at it. I'm going to have less issues with my cholesterol, less issues with the pre-diabetes, lower triglycerides. I'm going to be healthier overall, right? So that means I'll be taking less meds. I'll have to see the doctor less. That's my reasoning in my head anyway. But I called insurance and they wouldn't cover it. And, so I was down. And I just was kind of depressed. I'm like, okay, you're going to have to just do this on your own or just give it up and be happy with your weight. Deal with it. Then my 3rd month appointment came and I had to go see him. And this was about 3 weeks ago. Okay, and here's where it gets a little weird. I go in and I sit and I talk to the doctor and I said, I called the insurance company. They're not going to cover any of the GLP-1s. And he says, oh, don't worry about it. And he gets out this piece of paper. Actually, I've got it right here. This piece of paper here. Oh, this is not it. But anyway, basically, here it is. It's a cell phone number. I doodled on it. It's a cell phone number. And he said to call him in about 1 to 2 months. He said they're going to be getting the medication and that I could get it done in his office free. Yes, you heard me, free. Every week I would go in and get an injection. And when he's writing his cell phone number down for me, he says, if you have any side effects, don't go to the hospital. Call me. Yes, red flags went up. I was still excited about it, and I didn't understand. But in my excitement, I'm like, yes, yes, of course, sure. I'll call you. I couldn't wait for those 3 or 4 weeks to go fast enough. But I came home and I did my research, and I'm looking up. He said it was a generic for Ozempic. And I looked. There are no generics for Ozempic. There are no generics for Wegovy or Manjaro or Zepbound. What I did find, however, is that there are compound formularies. Compound formularies, I've got it pulled up right here, says compounded medications are custom-made drugs created by specialized pharmacies to meet specific patient needs. In the case of Ozempic and Wegovy, which both contain the active ingredient semaglutide, some people are turning to compounding pharmacies due to the cost or ongoing shortages. But then it gives you some considerations. It says, number one, FDA approval. While compounded drugs use FDA-approved ingredients, the compounded formulations themselves are not approved by the FDA. This means they're not regulated, monitored, or tested by the agency. So these compounded formulas are not FDA approved. Also, it says semaglutide variants. Compounded versions of Ozempic and Wegovy may use semaglutide salts or other chemicals that have not been shown to be safe or effective in clinical trials. Also, the third is a risk assessment. It says if the FDA-approved Ozempic or Wegovy is available, it's recommended to use that rather than a compounded version. So anyway, I had found out what I thought it was. And I called today. What brings me here and brings me here today is I called today. And I'm like, okay, what's the deal? And he's like, okay, text me, because I called his cell number. He said, text me your date of birth and name again, and I will call it in for you. I'm like, oh, okay. But and he's like, I'm like, is it still free? He said, no, it's going to be $30 or $40. And I'm like, a week or what? He said, no, a month. And I'm like, oh, so that means the insurance is covering it? I didn't get into all the details. I didn't think about it till after I hung up. But either way, he says, I'm going to call it in. Just text me your date of birth and your name. So a little while later, I get a call. I call my pharmacy thinking they were going to call in my pharmacy. And I talked to the pharmacist, it's a holistic type pharmacy, which I really love. I found them when we moved back here. And they're big on holistic health and other ways of dealing with issues. And it's kind of a clinic as well as pharmacy. And I explained to him everything that I just told you. And he's like, oh, I don't think they would call it in here. It sounds like, he says, because we don't have the compound formularies. It sounds like he's doing a trial and he's working with one of the pharmaceutical formulary companies. And I asked him about that. Is it safe? And he said, for the most part, yeah. He says, but everybody's different. I'm like, okay, so, he said, it's good that you have, some concerns and you're asking about it. That means that you'll be cautious and look out for kinds of signs. I did not tell him that the doctor told me not to go to the hospital to call him. I did leave that part out. But he said they can work really well. Everybody's different and there are side effects. And, and I've read all about the side effects and I have some concerns with that, which I'll go over in future videos. But he did put my mind at ease a little bit, that I felt more comfortable with it. And of course, if something happens and I get serious side effects, I will go to the hospital. I'm not stupid. Like my ears did tune in when he said that. But maybe I'm taking it as he meant mild side effects. Some of the normal side effects that I've read about, like constipation or diarrhea or nausea or some indigestion, gut issues, which I gotta admit I have because I'm on opioid medication, I have, opioid constipation anyway. So that's a bit of a concern for me. And I have kind of gut issues. I have like acid indigestion and that kind of thing. And take pantoprazole for stomach issues. So I got a feeling that might be a problem, but I'm going to do my best to make it work if I can. But anyway, I was feeling better after talking to the pharmacist. And then I get a call from the other pharmacy, because he said it won't come to us because we don't have it. And it sounds like he's doing a trial and he's working with another pharmacy. I'm like, okay. So a little while later, I got an auto call from the pharmacy, a different pharmacy, Care Now Pharmacy. And they said, your medicine will be ready. It's been called in. And I'm like, oh my God, this is finally happening. This is finally happening. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to go pick up these shots. I don't even know how to inject myself, where to inject myself. So I called my doctor back, and I'm going to go there after I pick up the script and have them do it the first time and show me how. And I've watched a ton of videos on the best, where to do it, the optional different places on your body to do it. And I'd like to start in the place that's going to least affect my constipation. I don't know where that is yet. I might look it up after this video. So leave comments below. Again, this is for the compound formulary for Ozempic, not Ozempic and not a generic. It's not FDA approved. It's the actual compound formulary for Ozempic. And I need to share this journey with you guys. My videos says it's running out of time. I'm going to end it here for now, but this is just the starting point of this journey, guys. My name's Jen. I'm going to put this up on my YouTube page, and I hope that you will leave a comment. I'll share all of the YouTube information below. I don't even know which channel I'm going to put it on. But I hope that you will join and subscribe and follow me and leave me some comments. Let me know about your journey. Join me. We'll do some YouTube videos together and see how this works. Really quick, I got to end it, but I want to show you. This is me. Oh, you can't see me. You can see my belly. It's out there. And my back side is just as bad. Anyway, you don't want to see my ass. I want you guys to share your journey with me, and I will let you know how this is working out for me. Thank you again for following me. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave me some comments. And I will probably do this probably once a month, maybe once a week to start, to let people know how it's going. And I will add to it, like I said, once a week or once a month. Thank you, guys, and I wish you all well in your journey, and I hope that you guys will wish me the same. Thanks. Bye.